Afternoon everybody. I keep getting asked, it's that time of year, Norway, what to buy, what not to buy. So I thought we'd give you a quick run through of sort of our no-brainers. If you're going this year, you're getting set up for going in either to the Screecod or later on in the year where there's more volume in numbers. This is a video you need to watch. So today we've had a lovely massive top up of all our Norway gear ready for you guys planning your holidays and getting ready. What I'm doing now, I'm going to go through a few of the bits, say what's the no-brainer, must use, how to use it and why to use it. I'm not going to cover everything because we stock hundreds and hundreds of different items specifically for Norway. We're going to go through the best bits. So what we're going to start off with is without doubt our best seller for Norway. It is called the Gummy Mac rig. So these are essentially like a mackerel feather for cod. They are absolutely devastating. Set up with a heavy duty clip on the top and a swivel at the other end. So you literally can clip a weight on or you can clip a perk on. We're just going to go into that in a second. And these you can slow jig, you can fast jig, you can leave them on the side of the boat just to work themselves in a little bit of current. They're essentially a very heavy duty, decent size hook on here. The ones we're looking at here are an 8-0 hook with this rubberized sort of finish to them. Maybe looking like a sand eel slightly. Whatever it is, cod especially go absolutely wild for these. The standard ones we do, you get 3 on a rig. These kinetic ones we do here, I think they're tied on 80-pound main lines, so they're very, very tough. We do a host of these. Red seems to be the most favourable colour for the whole of Norway, but the Lumi colours also, the Lumi yellows and Lumi greens are also very popular, especially if you're going into deeper water, some of the deeper fjords and some of the places a bit higher up. That can make the difference over the red. Continuing on with the rigs, we also do a lot of these rigs that are small, sort of like grub fish. Again, in these red and orange colours, they work very well. This is the Shadtail UV and the Twister XL. Set up very similar. There's 2 on a rig. They're all pre-done, so you can just clip them on and drop them off. Very effective. Also very effective to catch some of your bait fish that we'll move on to later for live bait fishing. Some people as well with these aren't so keen on having stuff pre-tied. Can completely understand it. We sell them separately as well, so you can get 5 in a packet, $5.99, tie your own. Come in 8-0, 10-0 or 12-0 if you're feeling like all you want to do is catch big fish and want big hooks. So with these rigs, like I mentioned just before, what you can do is if we move on to the perk section, you can simply attach a perk onto the end of it. So we do loads of different types of perks, loads of different jigs, but the tried and tested things in Norway are Norwegian pilkins, which are like the banana shaped ones. These kinetic ones here, these are the stainless pilkins. So these here are sort of like the cream of the crop, the best quality ones, and they come with proper heavy duty, right sized trebles on them, so you can clip them on and off you go. Don't need to worry about changing the split rings or the hooks. Clip them on, you're ready to fish. But what a lot of people do with these, if they're going to work these gummy mat rigs, they will literally clip the perk onto the bottom, and what you're effectively doing there, if you've got a big fish that wants to wallop this because it's wobbling and shaking in the water how you want it to, but also above it you'll have these set up. Lovely, I've tangled it up talking too much, but these will essentially just hang above there, and you can work that up and down, and what you'll do is you'll attract smaller fish on the top on these ones, which in turn will attract the bigger fish to hopefully hit your perk. Only downside to using these, you've got a lot of hooks there, and if you've got a big shoal of fish underneath you, although it's fun, you could get 3 or 4 fish on there swimming in different directions, weighing 60 pounds in total, and you'll have some fun, especially if you're on the lighter gear. I know some of you guys out there, you take 12, 20s and 20, 30 class rods just for the sport. No problem in that, but just be aware if you're putting more hooks on, you can have a little bit of an issue with stuff like that. Well, obviously we've gone with the stainless steel perk in there. We also do the standard pilkin. It's not got the stainless heavy duty finish like these. They are a little bit cheaper in price and very, very effective. Also still got the solid split ring and the really heavy duty treble on there as well, which is really important. If you go with weak trebles, you can fail on a big fish. You don't want to spend all that money getting there and failing on a weak hook. So they're a win-win. Other types of perks we do really well with are these depth divers, and the reason why these are good is because they drop much quicker in the water than these standard pilkins. So if you go into places that have got much further down, I'd really recommend having a go with these. They have different colorations on them. The red and white is a popular double colour anywhere in the world really. It's the same with Norway. If you can add a little bit of colour, reds, absolute win-win. And the last perk I'm going to show you now, because I talk too much, is my favourite one. These are called the kinetic Norsk pilken. These in the shallower water are absolutely deadly. The perk itself has got like a pattern on it. So not only does it have this lovely sort of lazy lob action as it's going up and down in the water, when you're in decent light conditions in slightly shallow water, the light will reflect off this almost like fish scales, so it's a different pattern in the water. We've sold these for maybe about 4 or 5 years, and resales are really interesting because they are a little bit more expensive. You do get the gummy mackerel, which I'll explain in a second, but we resell these a lot to people who go once, they use them catch fish and come back and buy again. The other nice thing with these is they actually have a gummy mac fitted at the top, so you've got it's like an assist hook almost towards the top of the jig, and obviously you've got your big treble on the bottom. So wherever it gets hit from, if you get a big 40-50 pound cod with a massive mouth hits this, you're on. The likelihood of it not getting hooked up is very slim. Right, we're going to move on from perks. I can bore you to death with perks now to move them, but this video is not for detail, it's just a few little no-brainers. We're going to move down onto shads. So shads, big shads, pre-rig shads are definitely where people have moved from the perks into this. They look cooler, they look great, and they do work very well. So Westin Westin Crazy Daisies are a shad-based sort of mackerel, herring sort of replica. They come in varying different colours. The ones I'd recommend to look at, the mackerel, it's a no-brainer. This one, obviously we're on another type of bait fish, like a herring sort of colour. They seem to be the best sellers and the ones we get a lot of return customers continuing to buy. Some of the guides we talked to at Sport Quest really like these. So I'd recommend having a look at these. Two sizes, 300 grams, and these are 400 grams, sorry. So to just fit different places you got to fish in different depths. The one thing you do find with these, because they're a fatter shad, they don't drop through the water quite as fast as your perks or some of the other ones, but they're very effective. They come with a paddle tail and a curl tail spare body, so you can switch it up if you're finding the fish aren't hitting as much on the paddles. The slower action of the other tail can make the difference on the day. So I'm going to move down a little bit further to which is my favourite, and definitely for the last sort of 18 months been our best seller, and that is the Westin Sandy Andy 300 gram. Reason why it's our most successful, if you just look at it, it is absolutely bob on. Slimline shape, so it drops through the water relatively quickly. It's got a lovely loose paddle on it, so it's got a almost self-working paddle tail, but it doesn't wobble too quickly, so it's very enticing for the fish. Got a single hook on it. You can rig up there, and on the bottom, if you wanted to, you can attach an additional stinger hook to run a little bit further down the tail. We have a few customers that will do just add an extra hook trailing behind there, just in case a fish comes from this side. That's fine. If it just bites the tail, it's not going to hit the hook. So adding that additional stinger on the back of there can be really important to increase your hookup rate rather than just your bite rate. These come with one lure and one spare, and the two best selling colours for us is this one. It's called Glowing Lipstick. I don't know who named it, but we've got it now. The main thing is the colour is very effective, and the other one, wherever it is the Total Camo, which is this one. And the reason why that's so impressive is obviously it's a sandale, it's a sandale colour. But they do vary in different colours, I would have a word with some of your guides if you're going out there. Certain areas, there are certain colours that will work better in certain areas. Generally, there's a mainstay of colours we're talking about, which should be effective in most places you're going to. But like I said, there's blues. And we'll just show you this one. It's a brand new colour that's come in this year. I think it's really cool looking. No catch reports on it yet, but this comes in a slightly smaller one of 150 gram. So if you haven't got much tide flow, you're fishing in shallow water, maybe you're fishing in the shallows for halibut, these are worth a look. This colour is called, I keep forgetting this, Electric Lagoon. I will remember it by next year, but all available on our website, jerrysfishing.com, where obviously, if you want a proper shot, a few of you going, come to the store. We've got so much gear here, we can kit you out. There's nowhere else in the country like this. Next we're going to talk about is these. So look at that, you'll go, what is it? This is a high quality pre-tied dead bait or live bait rig. So the idea of this is not everybody wants to fish all day jigging and perking, and especially for the halibut, when you're looking for maybe just one or two fish in the entire day out on the boat, it can be a lot of hassle holding your rod. You get tired a few days into your fishing, want a break, still want to fish. So these live bait rigs, or dead bait rigs, depending where you're fishing, are pre-designed that come with a decent single, and it comes with a treble as well. So you're going to rig these up with the main hook in the snout of your live bait, your dead bait that you've got, and then you're going to string on the extra hook a little bit further down the body. They're pre-weighted in 350 or 450 grams, and these leads are specifically designed to put off the back of the boat and not be on the bottom. You can, if you wanted to, in really shallow water, fish them on the bottom, but a lot of guys will lob this in. You might be in 500 foot of water, you want to fish at 200 foot down because that's where the fish is showing on the fish finder. You can drop this off the back of the boat, set your drag, make sure it's set properly, because every year I have a customer saying, we did that, but we set the drag too hard and they lose a rod and reel, and we don't want to do that. It's great for me because you have to come by another rod and reel, but in the realistic thing of fishing, we don't want to see anybody losing rods and reels over the side, and hopefully, obviously not a fish of a lifetime either. So these, they're all pre-tied, the Westin live bait rigs. There's two versions, one with a standard J hook, and they've just brought out a new one for this year with a circle hook. Obviously circle hooks are designed to lip hook fish, very effective, and the guys at Westin and at SportQuest have been testing them for the last year or so, and we've had some good reports on them. I would really always recommend anybody going over there, just take one of these. Some of the guys that I know that go higher up when they're fishing like the Lofton Islands and places like that, they'll be jigging and they'll leave one of these with a big dead bait out the back of the boat for the halibut, and they just set the ratchet, strap it down, and it might go once a day, but generally what hits that is a big fish. And you know, you're going over there, you get the biggest fish, you get the bragging rights on the way home. So have a look at them. Again, available online. I'll just pop in the store, we can talk you through everything. So this here is the Savage Gear cutbait herring. This was the first company to make these sort of dedicated big Norway shads. These have been out for years, they've caught thousands of fish, various different colours. You get a single in a packet, they're not particularly expensive either. About 12 quid for the small one, 16.99 for the bigger one. Obviously, if you're watching this a little bit later on, prices do vary with stuff. Highly recommended. And my favourite is the Savage Gear 4D Big Shad. What I like about these, they're a slightly heavier, bigger shad. And when you look at them, you think, wow, that's massive. But it's only the size of a normal mackerel, so I wouldn't be put off with that. You know, you're trying to catch them at 30, 40, 50 pound. It's got a massive mouth. This thing, it'll just engulf it. But the thing I really like about these, the colours are great. This red and white colours on here. But these are pre-rigged with the stinger hook at the back already fitted. So you're ready to go. Tail bites, you're getting it. Head bites, you're getting it. And obviously that lovely slow sloppy paddle tail there. These have been out This current, guys, is relatively new from about 8 months ago, but it's a very similar design that's been on the market for 4 or 5 years, that's been catching a lot of fish in Norway. So yeah, that comes in varying different colours. This is my pick of colours if you're looking at that, but again, stick with it with a natural sort of herring or mackerel colours if you're unsure with what to get, if any of the guides haven't said anything to you. And yeah, got any questions? Obviously everything we have is on our website, jerrysfishing.com. Not doing rods and reels and stuff today, it's just too complicated for a video. But yeah, if you've got any questions, drop us a message, give us a call. And again, you've seen a small selection here of the Norway fishing gear that we have just in store. We have one of the biggest tackle shops in the country. If you've spent £2,000 on a fishing trip to go away, for the sake of 20 quid in fuel to come and see us, talk to the lads at the shop that know what they're on about and have a real good browse of stuff. I think it's a bit of a no-brainer. But yeah, get in touch if you're interested in anything. Also, just like to add on the end of that, a lot of this gear crosses over if you're going to the Shetlands. The skippers up there don't like treble hooks, so some of the pirks and stuff you have to change them over to singles. But a lot of these shads we've talked about here are very, very effective up there for the big collies, the cod, and some of the smaller halibut that get up there. So yeah, cheers guys, and hope we've been helpful.